Let's explore the last topic under unsupervised learning. We learn association rule mining. Now, association rule mining is, in simple words, a procedure to find frequent patterns, correlations, and associations. So, just consider you have a large data set of a couple of transactions. Now, just consider any retail outlet you would go to buy a grocery, and look, just consider the kind of transactions you would make. You would probably buy bread, milk, honey and eggs, and so on. Now, what is the first association that you would go ahead and look into this data and call out? You'll generally say that most of the times when a person has brought bread, there's a very high chance he's also brought eggs. So this is an association which you have understood by studying the data. Now this is the crux of association rule mining. It kind of finds associations or rules or correlation between different objects and reports them as insights. Now we can divide this process into three stages. First stage, we define the item set. The item set would be a list of all transactions. Like let's say milk and bread will be one transaction. Apples and oranges would be another transaction. Just milk would be another transaction. And so on. We could have millions and millions of transactions. We first defined an important metric in association rules, and that would be support. Support can be defined as the number of times an item appears in the dataset. So for example, if you say support for milk and bread, now just assume for a retail outlet, you have all in all 100 transactions. And if you look for support of milk and bread, you look for the transactions. Now you have seen milk with bread, and you divide by the total number of transactions. So if you just look over here, we have milk and bread in one transaction, and that's it. We have total 3 transactions. So support for milk and bread would be 1 by 3. That will be 33.33. Confidence is the measure of the number of times a rule is found to exist in a dataset. Now that's one level ahead of support. So we measure confidence of milk to bread. That is, we create a rule as support of milk and bread. I accidentally wrote beer over here. Let's just correct that. This would be bread. And we divide that by the support for milk. Now, if you look into this transaction, the support for milk would be 1 and 2, 2 by 3, that will be 0.66. And if you look at the support for milk and bread, that will be 1 by 3, that will be 0.33. So the confidence of milk to bread is 0.33 divided by 0.66, that will be 0.5. So generally, whenever you would say, the chances that if someone buys milk, he'll also buy bread is around 50%. 50% is your confidence. So these are very simple measures which you can logically conclude are used for understanding associations between different objects. Now, where do we generally use them? So the most simple example would be cross-selling and upselling. So a customer comes to a retail outlet and he's buying something. It's a very general practice that someone would actually recommend that, okay, you've brought this, probably you can also buy this. This example can be easily witnessed over an e-commerce website. So let's say you're buying some products over Amazon, and Amazon would recommend you, okay, fine. If you're buying headphones, you can also probably purchase a mic. Or if you're buying a mobile phone, you will also buy a screen guard or a case. These are associations which are found in the data set to be highly correlated. Similarly, let's assume, so one real life example which we can talk about would be the contact centers. Now, if in case you call a contact center agent and for a small problem, you'll generally see towards the end of the call, he might tell you, if in case you see a problem for something else, and you might not have really called him for that issue, but then he'll make sure that he's discussed that issue with you towards the end. So let's say you call him for problem A, he'll help you solve the problem, and then tell you, okay, fine, if in case you understand and find that there's an issue like problem B or problem C, then you can help yourself by solving problem B and problem C with these steps. Now, what is he doing is he's trying to avoid a repeat call. So you call him for one time, and there's a very high chance someone who's called for problem A might repeat a call within the next couple of hours for another call for problem C. Now, problem A and problem C would be connected. There would be an association. So the agent would be given an insight saying that, okay, the customer is calling right now for problem A. there's a very high chance he might also call for problem C and D, or problem B. So he'll just take a minute or probably a couple of seconds and educate you about how to mitigate problem B if it occurs. That's one extra step he takes to avoid a repeat call and therefore save some money for the customer care operations. So these are basic examples where you can look into the dataset, find some rules, and develop associations and correlations to mine the data. So a very simple topic. We'll not have a coding example over here to develop this. It's a very straightforward thing. You'll probably take it up as an exercise and develop a simple algorithm that you can calculate support and confidence and find out different rules that exist within the dataset. So that's it for unsupervised learning. We'll move on to the next topic.